Today is May
26th.
2019. It is around 10 a.m. I would
10:30.
say 10:30 a.m. and
What's the day like outside?
It's a really cloudy day, which is surprising for Pasadena.
It's also
and
rainy.
May.
I walked in the rain for 10
Very
minutes.
rainy, yes. We just got some breakfast and we are in the basement of Bridge, which is one of Caltech's main physics buildings.
And this is some
And this
hallway in the basement.
This is the sub-basement. It's the second, there's even lower than the first basement, and we're in a very interesting storage hallway that we're
All
going
right,
to go
so let me start by pointing out an amazing Caltech contribution.
Yeah, this is a Caltech broom.
Okay, so notice two things about it. It's ambidextrous. It means people that are left-handed and right-handed can use it.
Yes.
And it's palindromic.
It's palindromic.
Yeah,
How so?
because you can remove the handle and put it on the other side and make it perfectly usable.
Interesting.
It's the kind of invention that made Caltech
Yeah.
famous.
All
right, so
this is the PMA Physics, Math, and Astronomy Division e-waste collection site. I
So
guess
all
electronic waste. So
all
seeing
virtual
as electronic
electronics,
waste
like
does not exist in a tangible world. This is where they store their electronic waste.
All right, let me film you now, giving a tour guide. All right, so here's a fence,
It's all held behind this fence.
which is kind of the thing you'd see in a baseball park.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but it's bolted into the ground.
Yeah, this is permanent.
Yeah. Here you have some very nerdy M-squared storage boxes.
Even the boxes are nerdy here.
Yeah, even the boxes.
Yeah, there's a box called M squared. Wow.
Yeah, God knows what's in here.
And some
They are
very
fragile.
ominous looking wooden crates. I thought they stopped making wooden crates in the 60s.
Yeah.
There's
We
a
have
pallet.
just metal and some.
It looks
weird
like the
shape.
metal is aluminum, right?
And, they're all separate parts.
Yeah. I guess if you want some, you can take some, but I wouldn't take them. They may be radioactive.
Yeah. The sign here is just zip tied on. I guess this section belongs to the H.J. Kimball Quantum Optics Group. There is
A bunch of quantum optic
a
things.
weird device, extension cords and power strips.
They're all quantum, though,
They're
aren't they?
very quantum extension cords and power strips.
Yeah.
Another weird box.
With some sort of filter. Oh, it's a water filter. You know that?
Interesting.
You know
it
why?
has the cooling system. in
It's a
it.
cooling system.
Yeah.
Ooh, a lot of. Wait, let's look at what's those things down there. I mean, they're large.
No idea. They might have something radioactive in them.
Yeah, they're probably highly refined uranium.
These are all different like seats of EMF and.
And so it's an opportunity to talk about how. So this equipment is a vintage Hewlett Packard.
Yeah, if you zoom in
Hewlett
on
Packard
some of them.
were the original Silicon Valley guys from Stanford, literally right there in Menlo Park. And look
Yeah.
at those.
Down here we have some probably very important things stored with aluminum foil and masking tape. And looking over here we have weird pulleys.
Winches, they're called winches.
What are winches, Dad?
Winches are pulleys used to pull very heavy things up. They're systems of pulleys.
Here there's it's a suspicious tank thing. I don't quite know what
Another
it is.
thing which might contain radioactive
A
material.
yellow box that just says flammable, keep fire away.
So it's funny, it's in French it's inflammable, in English it's flammable. So if you're wondering which is it, you better get it straight. Oh look, a nice stereo amplifier.
Yeah,
Probably
it's for all the basement parties. And
for all the basement parties over there.
This is
Sorensen.
also something very interesting. I don't
Which,
know.
of course, if it fell on your foot, it would break all your
Yeah,
toes. What do you
this
think is inside that
I don't
ominous
know,
green, army green box?
with Caltech and California Institute of Technology stamped on there. Who knows?
Who knows? Another thing that if it fell on your toe, it would break it.
More weird devices that have few explanation.
Oh, Isabella, could you venture to say something about this?
Well, so
let me focus in on it. It's got several parts to it.
it's got this spinny thing.
which is worthless because it
It
doesn't move any air.
anything. It
in
has
for-
a weight
It's
here,
got some sort of plumb or weight.
some sort of glass,
Some plexiglass.
wall, a ratchet,
Yeah.
and then I forget what the
A
cam.
cam,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so obviously like
So that moves
will
up
somehow
and
spin-
moves that thing up and down. No, obviously the thing moves the ratchet, or does the ratchet, or
it
does the
looks like
cam?
it's a crank. But I don't know what the weight would have to do with it.
Well, the weight could be used like using a pendulum to operate it, to run it. As you let it
Yeah.
go, it turns. But I don't think there's enough weight there.
For just considering the size of the whole thing.
Yeah, that's
But
a
it
lot
might be
of
some instructional tool.
obviously
To
classroom.
do a demonstration in class.
Little piece of aluminum stock.
Here we have a 1998 Newton's cradle.
Okay, let's
It was
look
for a
at it.
very tall professor with a very big desk. We can you can see it through the fence there.
Oh, and there's another stereo there.
There's another-
Stereo frequency equalizer. That must have been one heck of a party.
Frequency equalizer, yeah.
And finally,
We don't know what this is.
One more.
One more thing. This is the most interesting thing here, probably. Zoom in on this sign here. If you read it very closely, it says Millikan oil drop experiment, which is an experiment that is very important in that it determined the charge of an electron. It was groundbreaking in physics and probably deserves to be in a museum. And here it is in the basement of Caltech, sitting here collecting dust.
Did they use this experiment to determine the weight ratio between protons and electrons?
So how the experiment worked is, so they had these tiny little charged oil droplets, and this is just a giant capacitor where they can control the electric field. And so the oil droplets would fall due to gravity, but they could control the electric field, so they would like go up. And so they found the value of the electric field where they would be stable, and so then
Some sort of equilibrium.
and in force equilibrium you have mg is equivalent to E times V, which is the electric field, and so you can get the value of E over m, which is the charge to mass ratio.
Oh.
And so then they did this a bunch of times with a bunch of different things and realized that they came in integer multiples of each other. And so I think what they did was they took the lowest integer they found, and that was their correct guess for the charge of the electron.
So it's a quantum result, you're
It's a
saying?
quantum result. They proved that charge is
Something
not a
in quantum.
distribution.
Oh, wow, how interesting.
It's a very interesting experiment.
Well, here it is, a summary of what we saw, this long hallway in the second basement of the physics building at
There's also
Caltech.
a dome over here if you care to see it.
Oh, a dome.
Just a semicircle and a table.
That'd be cool to have in your room.
Yeah.
And the
And then it
world's...
looks like someone 3D printed the bird.
Oh, yeah, look. Somebody 3D printed the middle finger sticking out, and it's right there in front of everybody.
And it looks like it was from a very primitive 3D printer.
Yeah,
just
long
this
time ago. The
size.
first bird printed in 3D is right here in this little museum. So, over and out. Say goodbye, Isabella.
Goodbye. This is part of our day in Caltech.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.